So she comes back. That's nuts. That is actually nuts. Let's exile this. I think that's game. I don't think I've ever seen this many trees. Today we're looking at an old classic, Lurrus of the Dream Den. This is a deck for an old friend, Zombie Loves Pony, in my Discord. So thank you so much for being there for this whole time. One of my earliest viewers as well. So I want to make this deck for him because this is a deck that he has in paper. And this is a pretty vicious version, I think, because I've got all the fast mana. I've got Chrome Mox, Mox Amber, Dark Ritual, which is just nuts. I literally just played a game where turn one, I played Ancient Tomb into Arcane Signet, into Chrome Mox. And I know that Magic is absolutely ludicrous, but we're basically playing like, what, Vintage? Legacy Vintage now in Brawl, which is just a really nuts format. There's no escape. So the only way is to push through with equally as powerful decks. And I'm sorry, guys, if you haven't caught up to the meta yet, but the meta is absolutely bollocks. So in the most funnest, nicest way possible, just try and unlock these cards, I guess, because until they ban them, people are going to spam them and use them. And I mean, Dark Ritual was already legal anyway, and I think this is one of the most broken cards in the format, because, you know, if you do Dark Ritual into literally any 3-drop, like Lily on the Veil, it's just nuts. Lurrus, you know, he's one of the most broken companions ever made, probably the most broken, because he can just rejuvenate any CMC2 thing from your graveyard into play. And as you can see, we have a lot here, and that's exactly why it's an Aristocrats build. Anything that surveils is insane as well. I recently had a game where I surveilled Jaren into the graveyard, and then on the same turn played Sun Titan. Then returning Jaren with another body just felt like really punishing. You know, 3 bodies for 1 Sun Titan. This is just one of the key cards in the deck as well, by the way. And along the way, you've got aristocratic cards like the sort of Cutthroat. Anything that basically says whenever a creature dies, you control, drain the opponent for 1. A lot of the 2-mana versions are going to be the best ones. There's some cool new ones like Umbral Color Zealot. That's a lovely combination of words, by the way. And sacrifice on the creature or artifact lets you surveil 1. So that's basically like a cheaper version of Woe Strider. Woe Strider does come with a goat, and it only scries 1, but you get the picture. Lots of things to sacrifice, lots of things to trigger when things die. It's hella fun, basically, and you get to just spam the whole field with loads of cheap things. This is one of the very few decks I have with only 38 lands. This is a controversial number for me, because if you've been watching for a while, you know I love the number 40, but I wanted to keep the curve a little bit lower than usual. And I'm pretty sure that Wizards have finally fixed the mana trolling that the game does to you. There used to be a point where if you didn't have 40 lands, the algorithm would almost always give you 2 lands, which is just absolutely bollocks. But I guess I have undercut that a bit by having the Moxen in here, and, you know, Ancient Tomb, which is just a ridiculous card to have in the format. And yeah, I finally unlocked all the fast mana. That's where we are, guys. Just embrace the power, I suppose. There's still fun to be had, because ultimately, if everyone has these unlocked, then you're on a similar playing field. But for people that haven't, it's going to be tough. But I'm telling you now, public service announcement, just get them unlocked, put them in the deck, and if Wizards ever ban them, then we can get back to normal Magic. But until then, you just go nuts. Everyone has super powerful decks, and you will have people quit against you. But if you don't, then people use it against you anyway. So I've come full circle, guys. If you've been on my channel long enough, you'll see at the beginning I used to be very against these super powerful stuff, but it is what it is. There's no escape. There's no other queue. Just join in. I still have fun decks, so come back. If this deck is too aggressive for you, there's 700 other fun decks, so please watch one of the other ones. Anyway, like the channel, support the channel, check out the Patreon below, where you can donate to the channel and help me grow. Cool, let's get into the games. Sweet, I like this hand. We have 2 ways to deal with the Elspeth, which is going to be the main problem here. They're going to be spamming the field. So our curve is not great, because it's flowering in the white tree into a Yara. I said that really Irishly. Irishly. That's a nice word. It's not real. But you know what? Shakespeare made up his own word, so why can't I? The man Irishly walked down the street. I don't know how that would look, but I like it. Elspeth Stormslayer. So no crazy ramp from them yet. But yeah, flowering in the white tree is just a lovely card to just boost out our team. Kind of wish this was a black source so we can get for the Ayara first. Ayara? I can't say Ayara in a normal accent. Whenever you do things, things happen. Okay, fine. Let's get a black source, because we ultimately want to get to a point where we can start using the Ayara. So let's get some lands in the yard. Okay, play Lurrus. He has a little bit of a force field with the Ward 1, but there's so much cheap removal. He could legit just die, and I was thinking about this. Maybe I don't have enough ways in the deck to reanimate Lurrus himself, because if he dies, then the rest of the stuff may struggle to come out. It's a Heir Apparent deck. So we need loads of board wipes. Okay, so what I might do is do the sneaky attack. So we attack in, and then they double block, and then we kill one of the blockers. And that way we get a 2-for-1. Or they don't do any of those things. And instead, we just go for the Yara. But yeah, 2 legends, guys. That is very nice. I love this deck already. I love white-black Aristocrats. It's the most thinky. It's definitely the most thinky non-blue colours, I reckon. Which is... It's interesting. Out of all the powerful decks I see, I feel like Aristocrats is the one I see the least. And maybe it's because it requires some brain cells. But a lot of people like the easy way out. And I get it. The fastest way from A to B is a straight line, right? So I get why people like easy decks. So do we just attack again? Let's go for the grotto first. Let's see if we can put anything into the graveyard. Land. Let's attack with both and keep up the Fateful Absence in case I want to do some sneaky double blocks again. So if it is a Heir Apparent deck, then I have no qualms with killing one of them if they do a double block. So they're going to do that, okay. So I think that is worth it to just get rid of the field. Because remember, Heir Apparent decks require Heir Apparents. Apparently. 3 legends on the field. Let's just hope they don't have any board wipes. Let's just hope they go for the... We are running token strategy, therefore we're not going to use board wipes. But if they just drop a land into a into a Day of Judgment, then I'll eat my hat and we can't revive anything, which is totally sad times. But it's just by pure coincidence here that the Flowering of the White Tree is just absolutely spamming the living shit out of the +2 power boost. Look at that. Gloriousness. Warren Trader, Rite of Oblivion. So I kind of want to just get rid of that. You just sack the Warren Soul Trader, I'm guessing. And I know he's too big to revive later on, but... I think for the name of... sorry, should I say, of aggression, we push forwards, my friends, with the absolute smackdown that is 14 damage here. So they have to block. But again, if they have a wipe, then we sad times. Down to 4, so they need a bloody good thing, aka also known as Bordus Wipus. And if they don't get that, then they are Maximus Deadus. Looks like they're dead. That was just by attacking, which is a lovely thing to see in this day and age when people have Emergent Ultimate. Looks like we're in hell, guys. Let's go. Although the previous game didn't seem like hell, but I guess the queue's a bit blurry these days. Elvish Mystic. So do we just legit go for Lurrus turn 1, even though I don't really feel as though it's that great here, but next turn I guess we can Fatal Push and Thoughtseize something. I feel that because they've mulliganed a couple times, our Thoughtseize is going to be extra strong. Extra strong. There's a cheese I like, which is, I think it's Cathedral cheese. You might not get it in the US. Don't think you do. But it's extra strong. I think extra strong cheese is the best cheese. Omen of the Hunt. That feels like a very slow ramp for a Mythweaver Pock deck. That's just my 2 cents, obviously, but... Ulamog. Nali is just a crap card, but it does give them... It does give them, like, ability to kind of draw. So, I don't know, we'll see. If we don't get removal here, we're going to be in trouble for this. Ooh, they're going to play that before the POC. Okay. Well, this is not helping, dudes. We need some removal, please. Or something small to put in the bin. Oh, I think we're in trouble. Without the removal, we ain't going to be able to stop a POC. Can you stop the POC? I guess that they don't have the inevitability of that, but... Alright, let's go for this. Oh my god, they're going to have so much mana. I guess we can have permanent blockers. We'll see. I guess that they can also activate the Nalia. I think this is not a good game for us, given that you just don't have the removal at the minute. Maybe things will change. So if I'd discarded the Nalia, they would have had enough mana for Ulamognet. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and then 10. That's crazy. Oh, okay. We're in a lot of trouble now. Okay, so next turn, if they play Rishkar's Expertise, it's going to be a very quick game because they're going to draw 9 to 10 cards, probably more, and then they can play something for free. So we are in a lot of trouble. And how do we get around that? I guess removal is the only answer. So here's the thing: if we do get removal, then we can stop the POC. But we, oh geez, okay, that's a shame. Yes, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything, my friends. We're absolutely buggered. What's the point of scrying to there or using? Actually, that's the thing, right? If they crack any of these fetch lands, oh, that was crazy. We're just do removal. So let's think of the maths. So scenario 1 is we use this now. They gain 9 life, and then they do not use the Rishkar's Expertise. Scenario 2, and then we attack in for 3. Which means total net gain, they gain 6. But the best scenario is we wait for them in their turn to play Rishkar's Expertise, because this checks on resolution, I think. It doesn't set the value when it's cast. I can't believe we drew that. Now, it is a humongous shame that this is a... It gives them life. Okay, absolutely top decking mode now. Which means we know that's the only card in the hand. So we make them waste 6 mana, I hope. And this is where they emote spam me, and I don't know anything about it. I hope this works as I think it does. Oh, why does baby cry right now? Please don't. Please don't cry. Please get back to bed. Please get back to bed. So we basically just annihilate their whole turn. But they do gain a lot of life. Okay. So we attack. We sacrifice the Cruel Celebrant, draw a card. We get an Ayara, which is actually really, really crazily nice, but they have so much life. Play the Ayara. Play this into the Cruel Celebrant. Okay. So, in theory, how many things can we sack next turn? We can sack one thing on attack. Another thing. Another creature dies. We could still horrendously lose this as well, which is really irritating. Because the blocker... Yeah, I feel like they've got too many blockers now. Let's sack this to draw a card. We basically need some... This is why I put slightly fewer lands in the deck in hopes of drawing more things, but... Chrome Mox. That isn't really going to cut it, is it? And if we attack with Sephiroth, they're just going to block it. Okay, and then I'm just going to pass the turn. Right, I'm just going to have to phone the wife, because she can't hear the kid crying, which is... Or just text her. And they're going to destroy that land. Right, excuse me for this. I don't want to leave this game. It's always a quandary. And they're going to keep finding cards off the top. Now, the annoying thing is, once they find the card with the... Can you go in, please? She's crying, and I'm recording. Right. The phones are a great invention. I just want to finish this game. It's not going to be that much longer. Right, so the annoying thing now is that they can kind of go off. So every forest they reveal, the top card, if it's a creature put into their hand. And I feel like we're just going to... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, we've just lost. We literally lose because the Ronus is going to be able to pump all of this into trample. Which means we will get absolutely mullered. Oh, no. And then they've also got the Ashire's Scoot Swarm synergy. Yeah. So essentially, all of this happened because the Nyx Bloom Ancient enabled the Nylea to go off. Will I instantly lose here? I don't know. I think they probably should have just played the Ronus and they would have been very close to winning because it would have given it trample. So 22 damage. Bloody hell, she's crying loud. So yeah, let's not block that. We get into 12. Oh, being a father is so stressful sometimes. Just want to do anything. Just try. Imagine doing anything. And then imagine now suddenly the crying happens. So yeah. This is not going to kill a single thing on their side because their field is ridiculous. I guess we sacrifice there to try and draw a removal. Play it again. Play this. Basically, I'm playing to my out. So there is one final out, which is attack with Sephiroth and see what we get with him. Sack the Celebrant. So many lands, man. Down to 10. So that's the best I got. Yeah, fair enough. So that's our journey over. It's crazy how quickly the format, the game can change, from this into this. I do wonder if they hadn't played the Nyx Bloom Ancient, then in addition to everything that has happened, they wouldn't have had this be online because this is providing 3 pips, so 3, 4, 5 pips for the Nylea. But then also they wouldn't have had, triple the mana to get all these creatures off the top of the deck, which is ludicrous. But yeah, there you go. That's the thing about playing powerful cards. You will also face powerful decks like Mythweaver Pox. So moving on. It's very hard to say no to a hand that has the Ancient Tomb within it. So I think we're going to keep that. I think turn 2 Bastion's pretty nice. I mean, turn 2 anything is pretty nice, right? Let's be honest. So they are a Goblin build. Whenever one or more Goblins you control attack, create a Goblin. Whenever another creature you control enters, it does 1 damage to each opponent. That's ridiculous. How is that an uncommon? Ow. Right. So I think you start with the biggest thing you can, right? That's how magic works, right? You play the biggest spell you can, even at the expense of your life. I think Bastion is the right choice there. So the other options would have been play Lurrus, and it likely dies, because he only has 2 toughness, so he's very squishy. So Lurrus is a lot better played late game when your opponent is really low on resources. He's kind of like a little vacuum cleaner of resources at the end. If I'd played Zulaport Cutthroat, we'd have lost the 1 mana there. So actually, this is kind of perfect because we've got the meaty, delicious meat treats. And we're gonna... When it becomes blocked to create a 1/1, I don't want to do that. We're going to use the meat hook anyway, the meaty hook massacre. And we want to definitely do this because I've got 3-tree city. So this card is basically godsend. Thank you. Good pie. Yeah, 3-tree city is crazy. That as time goes on, I call it the monkeys with typewriters theory, right? If you can think of an ability, it will likely be made. Or if you can think of an ability that already exists, it likely will get remade in a different way. So this is basically Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx. But Nykthos cares about devotion to a colour. This cares about devotion to your creature type. It's kind of cool. Battle Cry Goblin. Goblin whacking a bush. Oof. Coming in strong though with the whackage. So the Ancient Tomb is certainly doing a number on us. Oh, no white mana. So that's actually really annoying. Because it means we'll have the same amount of mana as they. Oh, that's annoying. I guess the Elasil Core will have to do some stuff for us here. Yeah, missing out on one of the... Yeah, that's a real shame. Oh, well, I guess the Loyal Warhound will have to come in next turn if they play a land. One of all goblins attack, create a goblin. That's annoying, man. That's very strong. But whenever our things die, we now drain for 2, as long as the Zulaport exists. 3, as long as Elasil Core also exists. Although this doesn't drain, this just makes someone lose their life. They're going to shock. Damn, 3 triggers. Now the cool thing here is that the Lurrus can revive her. Let's go Prospector. And they're going to pay 2 to give goblins haste, and ugh, that's disgusting. Ugh. I think we have to block the Skirk Prospector here, because they're going to just add loads and loads of mana for free from the Battle Cry Goblin. Jeez, we're getting absolutely pummeled, aren't we? Absolutely pummeled. Oh, that Ancient Tomb is really killing me. Okay. We're going to have to use it, I think. Let's just hope they don't have an answer for that. For the Lurrus. Okay, down to 18. I guess we converted the Ancient Tomb into an Arcane Signet. But yeah, it's honestly nuts, the power level of this one common. It's just does for 3 to 5 to 7 mana. It's really really great. And this Battle Cry Goblin, to be honest, in some ways is even stronger because it just the fact it gives them more haste is nuts. Oh no! So all their red stuff does an additional damage. So that's gonna be 4. Down to 3. But we go up to 4. Okay. Oh, okay. So once per turn we get to play a thing. We play this. This is scary. I feel like the Ancient Tomb is our enemy here. But we do gain some life. And no, I don't really want to play the Tarian's Journal, do I? No, let's keep our life total as high as possible here. The Mechanized Warfare is scary because it's like a baby Torbran. If they do play a Torbran now, oh. Yeah, the fact we can recycle cards from the graveyard with Lurrus is just really, really crazy. Especially with stuff that cares about stuff dying. So the cyclical recycling nature of Aristocrats builds is just really wonderful. So they spent their whole turn... Oh, gross. Doing that. And everything does +1 damage. So I suppose it doesn't really matter what we bloody block, does it? We're going to take 2. We could chomp that. No, I want to keep the Elas Core alive. Because we want to gain the life from the Marionette. That's a lot of triggers, though. Okay, maybe I should have blocked the Elas Core. So she comes back. That's nuts. That is actually nuts. Let's exile this. I think that's game. I don't think I've ever seen this many triggers. Oh, this feels insanely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Lurrus is crazy. What's happened to him? And no one uses him anymore.